Hello everyone, Switched Off here. I recorded this message. This is very, very important to add that all of you listen. I don't know if I'm sorry, but I don't know if many hasn't been aware about this. YouTube has been doing some changes, and I can tell. I was informed all about this after seeing a video that Yogi Brony had made. It turns out YouTube may terminate your access or your Google account's access to all part of service if your YouTube believes its sole direction and preventions of service to you no longer currently available. That was all I believe found out. But it turns out that one of those things that YouTube had entered some sort of a deal with um, FTC organization, I think. And one of the changes that this new treaty with YouTube, some effects will be um, how I describe it. I mean, they wanted to say decided that one of the new functions they want to have is the new law called COPA that, well, they prefer as COPA. There are different names, but just short name COPA with two P's. One of the changes that you can put you had to put one of the main changes is that you will have to put some of the changes on directions. What I mean that YouTube wants you to do to announce or says more better word um, wants you to sorry YouTube wants you to put your directions for what your videos contents is its focus only for children. This new law, COPA, is about children's protection and online, which is a perfect understanding of that part. But they want to make sure that all the contents on each channel is considered is suitable for children to watch, which I perfectly understand since there are millions or possibly billions of videos on YouTube. But that even includes with animation. And some other things. I don't much I don't know much details about it since I saw this video only yesterday, and I had to put the settings myself to make sure that all the videos on my channel is suitable for children. Because if you don't, YouTube will do that for yourself, and that meant that it will be some setbacks in all of these new changes. One of those are that all the works with the notification bell won't work, and that you cannot save in watch later list anymore, and that comment section will be disabled on all the videos or some of them. I am not exactly entirely sure. When I first heard of from Yogi Brony, I thought, okay, this must be something weird. Because not only enough, because only a few months ago, perhaps a year ago, we had this copyright message problems on YouTube. And I understand from that part that the people who made this particular music or anything content that has been used on YouTube is want to have their rights to keep it as their own property, which I perfectly understand because I had so many copyright messages on actually several videos over the past few months, but not as much as lately. But anyways, but I can stand from that part, yes. But now that treaty with FTC and that YouTube had agreed and which will be disable some of the functions, like you will not be able to send any comments, or that you cannot place your particular that particular video in watch later list, or you cannot save it and not get any notification if your particular favorite YouTuber had uploaded a video. You won't be unable to see. You will be not unaware. You will be you won't be unaware if the person who has uploaded a new video from one of your YouTubers. I mean, for example, if one of my subscribers had been waiting for their a new love story to be up, and since this new function would be take place sometimes in January 2020, they will not be unable to get to know when my channel has uploaded a video. If this happened, I don't know what to do. I mean, I was first when I thought about this, I was scared. Can I be losing my channel for good? Perhaps, perhaps not. And then also, this could also lead that the people who makes money from their videos, from the contents, could also be demonetized, which they would not be unable to get any profits from their particular videos. I mean, I was really surprised when I first heard about this particular news. First, from Yogi Brownie, I first maybe thought about that, but then when I saw on this, when I go to my channel to this beta section, there is a list showing that. I mean, whoa! There's literally so much information, but there's so much of this. I have no idea what to do. I mean, if you wanted to make sure that all of this information is basically real, I can confirm you all it is 100% real. Even that Yogi Brownie had put up this some sort of protest list where you can leave your name on a list to, I don't know if they're going to help, but he's part of his program, or this is or some sort of non-profit organization or some kind of thing. So or it's a website where you can leave your support to make sure that this never happened. But if we have to go seeing this, well, I can say this. I mean, when I first saw all about this, I was really surprised. Merely surprised. I have no idea about any of this. Because here it says on YouTube, and this is really going to be translated from Swedish to English. Anyways, you have your responsibility to follow Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA, or other several laws. You must tell us if your videos are suitable for children. Use new YouTube Studio, and that's. I cannot even understand why suddenly all this happened. I mean, I cannot even understand why. Why couldn't they haven't made that part of this organization, this particular things when YouTube even first started for, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago? This is something that I couldn't believe when I first heard from Yogi Bro. And he was really surprised himself. There are even other YouTubers who has talked about this, like Mark Pillar, who has made another video which is says YouTube has huge problem. I haven't seen that one. I mean, there are probably many more videos about this, people talking about this particular subject. And I don't know how this will affect on others. But unfortunately, I can't provide much information about this. If anyone wants to have more information, you probably would have to look it up on either YouTube Help Center or perhaps even other people's channel online on YouTube. Maybe you can get more some information there. Since this is just recently came to my attention, at least. I mean, I wish I could help more about all of this for all of you. I mean, I wish. But since it's just a recent news, what if would happen if all of this weren't going to disappear? Well, I mean, if this is going to happen to YouTube, what will make it then? When YouTube first started for nearly 10 years ago, or perhaps even more than 10 years ago, I don't know exactly, but I was really, really honestly not surprised that this not to happen much sooner and then later. If this website has been gone for more than 10 years, why wouldn't YouTube have made this particular situation much earlier when they first announced, or even during the production, even when they worked on the website from the beginning? If they had these things already from the beginning, this would not have been as much as an issue now. Because there are probably many YouTubers out there who is probably just freaking out about this. I mean, I wouldn't be I wouldn't surprised if there were a lot of things that has been changed. I mean, if you think about it, many YouTubers who has their contents, perhaps they were even there are several store style no there are even several or perhaps even many YouTubers who has been focused on other things that which isn't suitable for children. Like some are based from horror stories, other are based from games. I mean, showing some games and sort of things, but I don't know. I'm getting a topic here, but this is really, really surprised to me that all of this even happened. At least those people who hasn't realized about this. I was not surprised about that. Since this is just recent news, and since these laws will, if they will pass, it will be it will be in power around sometime in January next year. And exactly which date I cannot say because I don't know. Only I know that sometimes in January next year. I I have no idea what to say. I mean, I wanted to make this video to inform all of you all about this. I mean, I can talk much more about this, but since I really don't have much of the details. Even YouTube has their own video explaining more details about this. I mean, even Yogi Brownie made his title of his video, YouTube might not last much longer. So, I don't know. So all the people have been working on this animation for based on characters from particular children's shows, stories, songs, they will be affected as well. Those are the most main reasons that being affected. Since YouTube wants to make sure that some of the stories, some of the videos are perfectly safe for children to watch, not to be harmed or to be get any scared about this. Maybe like seeing a cute video of animals dancing around and suddenly this big creature or like a I don't know. For example, there are some stored videos online called Happy Tree Friends. Trust me, those are not even suitable for children. It knows no. But there is so many YouTubers who's working on doing stories and videos for children, like just to make spreading happiness and sort of things. Maybe like Yogi Brony, for example, when his Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel duels and the cartoon Millionaires series. I mean, that is just children protection. I mean, that's are considered as comedy, and there are so much more. For example, more my channel. I have been only been focused on children approved videos, teaching about true friend and true love series. In my true love series, they're based on on ponies or other people whose other character from the series that is showing true love can happen no matter what situation there are. Sure, there might be some part of the story that seems to be scary, but that's not that scary as to get nightmares. They're based on like real life stories. Maybe some like when two children or two guys fighting for his is like a boyfriend. Let's say if there's a boyfriend fighting to protect his girlfriend from another guy who wants to date her or take her from him, or that in that a true friends series where ponies are helping each other, which later considers as a true friend. Those part of stories will not be much affected. And since this setting on your channel will see from what I first thought, they will only affect the recent videos. But it turns out that function is only not that, but it also affect all your videos. So all of my maybe like almost 1,500 videos, all of them would be affected as suitable for children. I had never done any scary stories, even though I had it cross in mind maybe if I was going to do a channel based on fiction um, horror stories, but as I said, Joseph said a thought about that, but it probably will never happen because since I have only been made true love stories over for almost 5 years on my channel, so I thought maybe no. But anyways, that YouTube has this problem that it will affect not only me, but probably several hundreds of maybe has thousands of YouTube channels across the entire website. I cannot even say how much this will affect not only us, but how can we do so much about this? Unfortunately, since this is going to be a new law in the United States, and for this going to affect basically all the YouTube channels, there isn't much we can do about it. I mean, even with reports, I know even that YouTube only made his list of this part of this uh, name sign list where people can sign in for as sort of like a protest list against this new law. I take part of it. Another friend of mine had also done it. But they requires at least 3,000 names or at least people on the list to be part of it. As so far, I haven't seen much about that. There is so far there is the people needs at least 150,000 names on this list, and so far 85,670 people had signed up for this. So nearly 90,000 people has signed on to this list. I mean, YouTube video viewers, creators petition Federal Trade Commission (FTC) to clarify and reconsider the new Children's Online Privacy Protection Comparable regulations on YouTube creators. Shutting off personalized ads on creators' content will cause more harm than good, especially for children. Quality, family-friendly content will shrink, while more mature content will grow, yet children will still watch it. There is so much more we wanted to do. Sure, we wanted to make sure that our contents on our channel are friendly for children, yes. But we must make sure that we are trying to do the best we can about this. I just say I'm just worried about this. I'm just hoping that this, even if this law will be accepted and that YouTube will be taken, will affect it, that officially affect this COPA part of this their agreement. I just hope that they will not doing as much the same things, something similar in the next couple of years. I mean, here is another video from someone else who made how you will be impact by the FTC's ruling against YouTube. There is so much about this. I mean, if you wanted to make help to make sure that even this law that perhaps doesn't, to make sure that YouTube and that the FTC could reconsider about this particular law or something before it even happens, I cannot say for sure if that will happen. I'm just saying that I was surprised hearing about this. And this is much we can do about much about. Even we would would protest against YouTube or FTC. I don't know how much our words or voices will be heard about this. I mean, if you considered, maybe it can listen, could have been considered to maybe do some other changes, but from their side, but about Copa, I have to agree on that part. We had to make sure that all the videos on YouTube are considered to be suitable for children and to be safe to them for watching. I mean, what if they watch and going to see a video of maybe of a cartoon character where they're singing and suddenly this something else happened? Like if the first kid friendly and then suddenly boom, there's monsters appear singing about scaring people, and after the end, back to normal kid friendly party at the end of the video. That could be considered to be harmful children. Yes. But I just want to make sure that this video is reached out to my subscribers and my fellow fans out there who knows about more, maybe knows more about this information about this particular new law. Perhaps to those who live in the United States, maybe they have more information about this. I don't know. Since this has just recently came out to me as intention, I just hope that all of this won't be affecting Russia as a YouTube. Because what if there are so many brownies in the brownie community, like Dr. Wolf, Keyframe, Lightning Bliss, Firebrand, and many more? How will they be affected all of this? I mean, they have made their channels over perhaps even much longer than I have. They have been doing much more animations or other things, and they probably could have been more affected than I have. Because since they had maybe some more animation scenes in their videos, and I have none. And even if I show, sure, I have been based on my stories on from a character series on like My Little Pony series and a few others. So could I have been affected about this? Yes, I could. And I can still pass, I can still be affected about this, but I cannot say much about now for sure. All we can do is just wait until 2020 January when we know for sure if this is going to happen. I'm just saying, I'm just hoping that all of this might not be suffering from as much of bad side setbacks on YouTube channels, and especially for those who had very much animation contents in that YouTube that so but there's just one question for me to answer. Or maybe you may ask me. Since if that YouTube is going to do disable perhaps the comment section on all the videos from now, or perhaps just some of them, how will I be able to request to receive your love stories or true friends request stories or any basic any comments about my videos, how you've liked them, or if you're sending any request, how will that affect me? That is a huge problem. Since YouTube decides to disable, I don't know exactly if they want to disable all the comment section, all the videos on my channel, or if it's some of them. If that is true, how will I be able to receive your request on love stories or true friend stories in the future? That would be a big problem if you had to consider from that point of view. Because I really hope that I could be able to get any request from anyone from their stories. Because my love stories and true friend stories and others are mostly because based on your request. So if that comment section will be disabled all my videos in the future and including now, how would I be able to receive any comments from anyone? Especially if they're just telling me how much they love the stories, that particular story, how much they love the video, or how much you want me to make another one, something similar, or if you ask me to make a video about that particular couple or something else. I can't say for sure. So even if that happened, the only thing that I could make happen, so even if that YouTube would or will disable all the comment section, all the videos on my channel, even for the past and even in the future, how would I be able to get your request or comments or some things? There might be only one solution on if that happened. If that would be email. If that happened, the only thing I could consider as a logical as an as a backup plan if that happened. And that would be that people could have sent their request on my email. But let's hope that doesn't have to go to that far. But let's say if that happens, my email would probably be the only backup plan for people who send their request of stories to me. I just want to make this happen, so make sure that people would be able to send comments to my channel or to my videos, how much they likes it and all of this. And all of this happened just because of YouTube and FTC want to make about this new about this new law. Just puzzled. There weren't much information about this much earlier this year. First was about this copyright law, and now this. I mean, I'm not much against this because I understand that people want to make sure their contents are protected by law, and that in this new law that makes sure that children are safe on YouTube so that they can see videos that are considered safe for them, which perfectly understandable. Yes, I'm just surprised. That's all. But just I'm just hope that this won't affect it YouTube, that especially not when you are having this notification bell, and that you won't be able to send comments anymore, and that you cannot put that particular video in a watch list later. How much will be this affect not only YouTube? I mean, hasn't they thought about how much they will affect YouTube channels in the future, and as is now? I just hope that it can be. I would just hope that there could be some new changes. That there could be some changes all about this, perhaps in the future. I'm just saying though. All I want is, I hope this could help be some that it won't be much as affected in the future. All about this. There is so much more about this because when I first joined YouTube almost 11 years ago, I was like, great, a website where I can watch videos, perhaps even follow others on their channels. I mean, how much more about that will be affected in the future? What else? What else will YouTube change in the future? I mean, even if this happened, this new law will take place next year. What can we say the next change will be? Could it be maybe within another 2 years, or maybe within the next 5 years? There will be another major changes in YouTube. Who knows? I'm not much against all of these ideas from the beginning. I can understand that people want to make sure that their copyright contents are protected by law, and that YouTube want to make sure that children are safe on YouTube on watching this series. Sure, I can understand their view from that point, yes. I'm just also worried about other YouTubers. People have been working on had maybe had their channels for maybe, let's say, maybe for past 5, 10 years, and have been working on animations like Lightning Bliss or Dual Cartoonist, those who have worked on Moon Rising, Run Away, those stories or the videos. How much they will be affected? That is something, but we cannot say for sure for sure for now, since there are so many new types of laws that could have been affected YouTube in the future as well. Who knows? All I was gonna say, I was surprised hearing all about this for the past few days now, or at least for the past 24 hours. I would say most. I was just surprised. I'm just hoping that even that YouTube will officially take part of this as a new protection in their agreement with FTC. I just wanted to make sure that all of this will not affect it in too much severe on YouTube channels in the future and from now. All I say, let's pray and hope it doesn't have to be suffering too much bad for us. I'm just saying that YouTube has been around on my part of my life for the past 10 years or so, watching YouTube channels and great make a lot of great laughs from many fun stories and funny videos, and even listen to some scary stories and other or more, even watch some other stories on other channels. I'm just saying YouTube has a great potential to, could have been more, even if their people wants to make sure that their contents are protected by the law, and that this particular issue now, that this particular problem or this particular happening, that they want to make sure that YouTube is more safe for children in the future by watching videos. I can understand in their view and from parents' point of view that they will make sure that their children are not harmed or scared about any particular videos on YouTube, that they don't want to have their children to have any particular horrible nightmares and for months, which is perfectly understanding at that point. Yes. I'm just saying, I for one point that I agree with those new laws that make sure that people are safe and that people's work are protected by the law. And just saying, I was just surprised when I heard of all about this 24 hours ago. I'm just still puzzled. How much more will the all this happen? How much more will be? I don't know. How much more will be affected? Only time can tell how much more about these details. And yeah, and since I have been talking about this for nearly a half hour now, so I want to push more. I won't push more this much longer as it needs to, because if you want to have more information, just look online if you can find more. Because, like I said, I don't have all details all about this, because even if I saw all about this for 24 hours ago, I'm just still puzzled all about this. Believe me, I am really, really surprised all of this. But just hope that this what happens, we'll always have each other's support no matter what happens. Well, everyone, this is Switch Dablo. over and out, and be safe.